Sometimes the strongest message isn't spoken, it is seen. In Widikum community in southern Cameroon, residents have put down their frustrations and picked up shovels, repairing roads with their own hands after years of neglect. Now in Uganda, hope is replacing fear as the country begins its final countdown to being declared Ebola-Free, even as a deadly outbreak continues to rage across the border in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And now across the world, wildfire smoke has turned Toronto into the city with the worst air quality on the planet, forcing health officials to sound the alarm. And in South Africa today, fear is driving hundreds of Malawians to queue outside their embassy, hoping to leave a country that is South Africa, where an intensified immigration crackdown and rising anti-migrant sentiment have left many questioning their safety. Now, all these stories paint a picture of communities confronting crisis in very different ways, from resilience and recovery to uncertainty and survival. The details are next in today's Flash News. I am Tabitha Akor. Let's begin. Power infrastructure and the absence of government intervention, residents of DJ2 in Widikum subdivision have launched a community-led effort to repair damaged roads that have become nearly impassable. Armed with shovels, hoes, and other basic tools, residents have volunteered their time and labor to restore sections of the road network in a bid to improve access to schools, healthcare facilities, and local markets. The deteriorating roads have long hampered transportation, trade, and the delivery of essential services. Now, beyond the poor road network, the community is also facing a prolonged electricity crisis, with unreliable power supply disrupting businesses, household activities, and other socio-economic operations. The situation has sparked fresh appeals for government and humanitarian intervention, as residents say the burden of maintaining critical infrastructure has fallen entirely on the community. Undum Reni, founding director of the Winners Empire Foundation, described the residents' efforts as a powerful demonstration of resilience, but said the scale of the challenges exceeds what the community can address on its own. He called on government authorities, development partners, and humanitarian organizations to urgently rehabilitate the road network and restore stable electricity, arguing that access to basic infrastructure is essential to improving the living conditions and economic prospects of the people of DJ2. Now, away from that, over to Canada. Toronto recorded the world's worst air quality on Tuesday as thick smoke from raging wildfires across northwestern Ontario engulfed the city, prompting health warnings and emergency measures. Let's take a look. The hazardous air conditions coincided with a heat alert, with temperatures climbing to 33 degrees Celsius, just below the city's record high for July 15th. Authorities responded by cancelling outdoor children's programs and opening cooling centers to help residents cope with the extreme weather. Environment Canada warned that the smoky conditions are expected to persist until at least Friday, urging residents to limit outdoor activities and take precautions to reduce exposure. Toronto's Associate Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Howard Shapiro, warned that breathing the polluted air is comparable to exposure to second-hand cigarette smoke. noting that the fine particles carried in the smoke contain harmful chemicals capable of affecting people of all ages, including those without underlying health conditions. Now the smoke has drifted into the city from 148 active wildfires burning across northwestern Ontario, where firefighters continue efforts to contain several large and fast-moving blazes. Officials have advised residents, particularly children, older adults, and those with respiratory or heart conditions, to remain indoors as much as possible until air quality improves. Now over to Malawi. Hundreds of Malawian citizens have sought assistance from their country's embassy in Johannesburg to return home as tighter immigration enforcement and mounting anti-foreigner protests fuel anxiety among migrant communities in South Africa. Crowds gathered outside the embassy, with many requesting voluntary repatriation after expressing concerns over their safety and increasingly hostile environment facing foreign nationals. Now, this is what is happening in the heart of South Africa. Let's take a look.
We are not safe because you see now the situation is not right in Joburg. Now we run away from our areas, different areas. We are here to look for help.
So many people here from Malawi. We have to help because of we don't have any transport from here, from Johannesburg to Malawi. That's why we are here we're waiting for transport.
To move them maybe to Messina or Musina, so from there they can proceed by road. This is one of our way which we are trying to reach out for the support. So we have not yet received the response from PRASA. We have ourselves as an initiative put up 2 buses. Tomorrow they are leaving in Joburg, they are going to Malawi, but two buses are not enough.
The exodus follows a major immigration operation by South African authorities, who say more than 53,000 undocumented migrants from across the continent have either been deported or voluntarily returned to their home countries within the past month. Malawian nationals make up the majority of those affected. Now, the situation has been further complicated by the death of 3 migrants, including a Malawian, which are now under police investigation. The incidents have heightened concerns over violence and intimidation directed at foreign nationals. The crackdown has triggered a wave of departures involving migrants from several African countries, including Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and Malawi, as many opt to leave rather than risk arrest or further hostility. Analysts warn that the growing outflow of migrant workers could have wider economic consequences, disrupting businesses that rely on foreign labor while reducing remittances that support thousands of families across South Africa. Over to Uganda. Uganda has discharged its final Ebola patient, marking a major milestone in its response to the outbreak and triggering a 42-day countdown to being officially declared Ebola-free. Now, under World Health Organization guidelines, a country can be declared free of Ebola if no new cases are recorded within 42 days after the last confirmed patient tests negative and is discharged. Since announcing the outbreak in May, Uganda has recorded 20 confirmed Ebola cases, including 2 deaths as well as 1 probable fatal case. Health authorities say no new infections have been reported since June 21st. Now, according to the World Health Organization, all confirmed infections in Uganda were linked to transmission originating in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, with imported cases leading to secondary infections among close contacts and healthcare workers. Now, while Uganda's outbreak appears to be under control at this time, the situation in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo remains critical. The World Health Organization says transmission continues to spread, with cases increasing rapidly across affected areas. Now, as of July 11th, the Democratic Republic of Congo had recorded more than 2,000 confirmed Ebola cases and over 700 deaths, marking it as the fastest growing Ebola outbreak recorded within a single month. World Health Organization's Executive Director, Dr. Chikwe Ekewozu, recently warned that the outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo remains highly active, noting that health officials had recorded more than 80 new infections within a 24-hour period, underscoring the urgent need to strengthen containment efforts and prevent further cross-border transmission. Now, this is the latest coming over around the world from the home front down to Canada, to South Africa, and then in Uganda with the Ebola situation. Now, until next time, this is where we'll draw the curtain on today's Flash News. Just stay connected for untold stories coming from the home front at the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Until then, do have a pleasant day and stay safe.